So would you say, you just said that, like, sometimes you don't want to live anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like you just feel like it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
All right. So have you ever thought of a plan to harm yourself or to kill yourself so that you don't have to live anymore?
I don't think I've really gotten that far
Okay.
yet.
Okay. So it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like lately it's been kind of working in that direction?
Yes, because it just seems like more and more I feel not good and like it's pointless and whatever. Just more and more all the time.
And it sounds like the cutting isn't working so much anymore.
No, because I have to do it more because it doesn't work as good as it first did.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, things like that happen. It's sort of the kind of calling card for addiction.
Oh.
So, do you feel like you might be addicted to it? Like you feel like you would want to stop, but it's very difficult for you to stop, or you can't stop. You feel like you have to do it.
Yes. I never thought about feeling like that I had to do it, but I do feel like I'm doing it more and more often. And yeah, I guess it does. It just makes me feel better. So I just do it all the time now instead of, just a little bit.
So, do you feel like you've never tried to stop, so you don't know if you could stop?
Right.
Well, hopefully, we're going to come up with some alternative ideas for you, and then you might be able to stop.
Okay.
So, um, just a couple of other kind of assessment questions really quick. Like, do you feel like you just wish you wouldn't wake up in the morning?
Yeah, that would be like an easy way
Okay.
to go.
Okay, it would, right? Now, what if we throw your son in the mix and you think about that?
Oh, that would be very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, does that change your thinking on wanting to wake up in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you really think about it, there's a reason for you to be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good because there's a reason to fight then, right? There's
Yes.
a reason to try to feel better. And I 100% believe that we can do that.
Oh, okay.
There's alternatives. And we can definitely talk about finding some meaning and some purpose in your life. And maybe some of the strength of the Lord. You've found him.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to find out like what he's all about and how much he loves you and cares about you and wants you to have a purposeful and peaceful life. So,
okay.
All right. So I think really quick, what I want to end with is just kind of getting you to start thinking about some questions that we're going to cover while you're here.
Okay.
Like what are some things that make you feel good besides cutting, like any of your hobbies, and besides your son, because that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But you need some things for you, like do you like painting? Do you like music? Do you like hiking? Like, what are some of those things? If you could wake up tomorrow and do something, what would you do? Anything.
I would probably meditate. Maybe go for a walk outside. I like that.
Okay.
Being with nature.
So you like nature.
Yeah.
Are you a camper?
I am. I love camping.
Ah, look at the smile. Camping is something that gets you going, huh? All right. So we'll talk about some of that stuff. Like, and then what are some things that you need to do on a daily basis or these things again to think about? Like, what are some things that you need to do on a daily basis? We're going to talk about how nutrition and exercise. Exercise is another one of those things that like releases endorphins and helps us feel good.
Okay.
So going for a walk, maybe taking your son for a walk, or something like that. Getting some exercise, doing a 15-minute Zumba. I don't know if you're a dancer. I'm a dancer. I like to dance. I like to make an idiot of myself.
Right.
But you doing some dancing in your living room with your son.
Okay.
Can help release some endorphins and help you feel good. So that kind of thing. So just talking about those daily routine things that may be good for you to do in order to help you feel good. Then we're going to talk about the supports that you feel like you could contact. Like, does anybody know that you do cut?
No.
Okay. So maybe some supports or somebody that you can contact to let them know that there's been an issue that you haven't been feeling yourself, and that you might need their help at some point in time. Somebody who you can be really honest with about those things.
Okay.
And we do family kind of planning here as far as like before we come in, we ask a couple of those supports to come in so you can reveal your preventative crisis plan with them.
Okay.
We talk about your warning signs. What are some signs that you're going downhill a little bit? Like normally, some people, like for me, I do really, really well. I take care of myself. I shower on a daily basis, all that different stuff.
Right.
However, if I start to not feel so great,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe I shower only 2 to 3 times a week. So when I'm aware of that, I get to see like, oh, this is an early warning sign. I might not even realize something's really going on. I might not even feel that bad, but I'm reducing showering because I just don't feel like it. And that's one of those signs that things are starting to get a little bit worse and I might need to do something about it. Okay. Then we'll talk about what are those things you can do. Maybe calling your therapist and asking them to start meeting with you every week instead of every 2 weeks. Maybe taking a camping trip, maybe, whatever it might be. Those are all the things we're going to explore while you're here.
Okay.
So that we can come up with a plan of what do I need to do every day? Maybe I do need to take some medication, something like that. What do I need to do weekly, like seeing my therapist or every other week or whatever? Who are the people that I can contact to help me stay well and my supports? What are my coping skills that I can use instead of cutting to deal with things? What are my early warning signs? And when my early warning signs come up, what do I need to do in order to intervene before it gets to the point where I have to go to the hospital?
Okay.
And then if it does get to the point where I need to go to the hospital, who do I need to contact to make sure that happens and it doesn't get to the point where I feel like I'm going to do something and not wake up in the morning.
Okay. Like by accident.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe you don't really mean to do it, and then you just and then it turns out badly.
Yeah, and it's a concern, right? Because if you're cutting to feel better, but it's not working, what if one time you're just in such a bad mood that you cut and you cut too deep?
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned that you're running out of places where, they can't see, so that kind of tells you you might be cutting on your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's an artery in your leg.
Oh.
And you don't want to accidentally hit the artery, we don't think about these things, especially in the moment when we feel like we're in crisis and we just need to do it.
Right.
So there's a risk. There's a risk you could really hurt yourself.
I did not think about that.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that we're coming up with some other ways to deal with things.
Okay.
So if you're good with that, then we'll move on with the admission process and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. All right.